Hi there, I'm Emma Kemp, design team member for Jamie Rodgers Crafts, and in today's video we're just going to take you through a quick walkthrough of the new May 2025 release, which includes a brand new collection to Jamie Rodgers Crafts. If you caught the Monday Night Natter Facebook Live, some of what I'm going to go through on this video is going to be repeating what Jamie went through in that show. However, I am going to be adding in a few extra ideas. That video is still available on the Jamie Rodgers Crafts Facebook page, and it is definitely worth catching up on for extra inspiration, as there are so many different design ideas from our lovely design team. If you've seen something that you love in this collection and you're itching to get in early and get your hands on it, then don't miss the exclusive launch of our live shopping.vip show, which is at 11 AM tomorrow, Thursday the 22nd of May. An online event post has been added to the Jamie Rodgers Crafts Facebook page, and if you click on that, there's more info about when and where to watch. Otherwise, the collection is available for general sale with our lovely stockists from 10 AM on Tuesday the 26th of May. So to begin, we're going to start with some of the new additions to existing collections that have come out with this May release, starting with two new additions to the Florist collection. I'm going to pop this one aside first so we can have a look at this, and I'm hoping my camera can catch it. So this is a new addition to the Florist collection, and it is called the Button Blooms die. It consists of one whole die piece that cuts all 7 blooms, and they are in staggered sizes. So I don't know if you can see the detail on there. There are 7 dies, and there are different ways, as with all of Jamie's flowers, that you can use these dies. So just to give you some examples showing them separate, and hopefully I'll be able to catch some of the, I don't know if that one's better, I don't know if it'll capture it on the camera or not, but they are debossed, so you've got that lovely pattern on there, which means they're lovely if you wipe an ink pad over the top. It really captures the detail. So you can do different things with these. You can actually layer them all up, which I'll show you here. Like I say, they're kind of graduated sizing. You could literally layer it as simply as that. Give them a little shape, pop something in the middle, and you've got a bloom right there. Some of the other ways you can use them, you haven't got to do a large flower. You can take just a couple of the smaller blooms and make smaller flowers, or you can shape petals and just make individual flowers. So this one is just an individual petal, and I've just popped a sequin in the middle, but it's just really, I don't know if you can see that clearly on camera, it's very effective just singularly. You can shape them and curve them upwards. Again, I'm hoping you can see that, but they look really nice, these particular ones, kind of squeezed in, and they just create a really pretty little flower. You can layer them in all different sizes, so you know you can really tailor them to your project. Just popping a little pearl in the middle, it's that simple. And here I've shaped the petals inwards and upwards and staggered them, just taken 3 of the sizes. So there really are lots of options with that set. So that's the newest addition to our Florist collection, the Button Blooms die. The next one that is joining the Button Blooms to our Florist collection is the mirrored Lavish Foliage. Now you may remember that we already have the Lavish Foliage die set out, and Jamie wanted to make sure that we had mirrored foliage, basically going in the opposite direction. So if I turn over our Button Blooms board here, this shows an example. So here is the Lavish Foliage, for example. with this foliage here, you can see it goes that way for the mirrored one. The Lavish foliage goes in the opposite direction. The same here, this is for the mirrored Lavish foliage, and this is for the original Lavish foliage. And then the same here with these leaves here. So a very useful new addition to the Florist collection if you like building foliage in your cards. Moving on, and we have a new addition to our Mats and Layers collection, and this is the plain right angled triangles die set. This consists of 19 dies ranging from quite a large size. This is an A4 piece of paper here in the background, so hopefully that gives you some idea of how large that is. Right down to this diddy little triangle here, if you can see that, very dinky. So you've got a range of graduated sizes in that set, and again, if you tune in to the Monday Night Natter, if you rewatch that video, you are going to see lots of inspiration on there from various design team members using these dies. We've got a new addition to our Essential Backgrounds collection, and this is called Sheet Music. Now, I'm not even sure if I'm holding this the right way up. Possibly that's the right way up. Hopefully someone will correct me in the comments. But yeah, so this is a lovely new addition to the Essential Backgrounds collection. I can see this being used for vintage Christmas cards or any kind of vintage background. Maybe you can tea stain some paper. One of the design team members in one of their examples on the Monday Night Natter printed this on some cards and made flowers out of it, which was really pretty. So yes, lots of ways that you can use this. It's going to be a very useful addition to the background collection. We also have a new addition to our Creatures of the World collection. Now, you may remember our initial die set in this collection is the Elegant Butterflies. You can see those there. Well, we now have the Elegant Dragonflies. So this consists of 4 dies, and I don't know if, again, my camera is going to capture this very well, but you've obviously got the ones that are die cut, but these 2 are actually debossed. Maybe you will notice better if I bring in the made one. So basically you can use these individually. You've obviously got the side one, which is really handy because you've also got the side butterfly in the Elegant Butterfly set. So you've got your side one. You can use these standalone or you can use them together, and I just want to show you an example of how you can take these and make them look really pretty in a very simple way. I don't know if you can see that. I've literally just taken this die cut, this die cut, popped it over the top, glued it down the middle and added some diamantes, and then just used a pencil to just shape the wings. And I don't know if the debossing shows on the wings underneath, but they've got just beautiful debossing, which means they're going to be lovely to ink over. But you can get a really pretty embellishment for your cards very simply with this set. They're just absolutely gorgeous. And again, you can do the same with the butterflies too. Just add some diamantes down the middle, layer them on top of each other, shape the wings. So a beautiful new addition to the Creatures of the World collection. And the final new addition to our existing releases, we have 5 new additions to our Sentiment collection. So to begin, we have Thank You from the Bottom of My Heart, and that cuts a separate heart out there for you. We have Don't Forget to Make a Wish, and again that cuts out a separate star. To a Very Special Friend, Hoping All of Your Wishes Come True. And finally, Sent with Love and Sympathy. And on here you get the separate letters spelling love, which you can pop horizontally or you can pop them vertically, and then it will cut out the separate hearts for you as well. And with each of these you have got options. So again, if you catch the Monday Night Natter video, you will see one of our design team members, I think it was Diane, actually took one of the words, I can't remember which one it was, or she took a couple of them, and I think it was this one. I think she took the scent with love and just used that part. It's quite easy to snip away the other words, so you can create whole new sentiments with these. I mean, on here you may be able to have friend or just two are very special, and you may have a different word that you'd like to pop in there. So again, you've got options with these too. So 5 new additions to the sentiment collection. Finally, moving on to the brand new collection to Jamie Rodgers Crafts, and that is the Patchwork collection. I'm hoping you can see those. So the Patchwork collection consists of 6 die sets to collect. Each set consists of 3 dies, and I will bring an example over here. This is just 2 of the sets. So each set consists of an outer frame, and this cuts a standalone frame piece with a pattern around it. Each set has a different pattern around the frame. Each set consists of this inner piece, and it's the same for every set. And there are quite a few different uses for this, but where it's handy as well is that you can run more than one patchwork set through your machine at once if you have the space on your plate, and it saves you having to share this one piece between all different sets. So definitely a time saver. And then each set consists of this middle panel, and this cuts the pattern into the card. So unless you use this with one of the 2 other dies, it won't actually cut out a square. It will just cut the pattern into the card. So it relies on you using one of these 2 other dies in the set to actually cut out a square. So starting with the music notes square tile, I'm just going to show you some different ways that you can cut these and some different options. But again, on Jamie's Monday Night Natter, he really does go more in depth with the different ways that you can use these. So if you were to cut all 3 pieces as shown just now, you'll get the outer patterned frame, you'll get this inner piece, which will be the same again for every set, and you will get the centerpiece, the patterned panel. But you've got options. You don't have to cut all 3 together. So for example, if you were to only cut the outer frame and the inner panel, this is what you'll get. So this is without using that middle piece. Or you could just take a square, any size square, pop your middle piece, your middle die into that. So this is the swirly one, but just as an example, if you just pop that into the middle of a square, as you can see, it just cuts the pattern into it. But as we go through each set, you'll see there's other options with some of them too. So there's different ways you can use them. Whenever you cut this piece out, you'll always get another square layer, which I haven't got here to show, but it will cut an addition. Obviously, if you were to cut this out of card, you'll get the additional square layer as well, which could be good for matting. And again, if you just cut the frame alone, you'll get the center plain square also. So you've got so many options. So yes, that's the music note square tile. Moving on, we've then got the striped square tile, and again this is one that's got some additional options. So first, just having a look at this particular die set, you've got the diamond frame that it cuts out, you've got that middle piece, which again is the same for every single set, and then you've got the stripes. Now you've got choices here with how you position these. You can position them horizontally, you can position them vertically, and I don't know if you notice here, you can also use the strips that you cut out, and I think this would be amazing for building backgrounds, creating a fence perhaps is another idea, or I think Jamie showed this on his Monday Night Natter. You can take the pieces and weave them in and out of your striped tile, and it creates I haven't got an example here to show. Jamie does have one on his Monday Night Natter, but it creates a weaved look, and I actually think that for the cross stitchers out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. It creates a look of Ada fabric, so it would be great if you like stitching onto cards. It creates a great base to stitch on because it creates a mini piece of Ada essentially. So that's another option. And again, I think I've got one here. You could just layer another piece over the top for a grid look, and if you were to lay that whole piece on a card tilted, you'd have a diamond, and you've got the diamonds in the background. So many choices. And again, just to remind you, you can mix and match the frames and the centers across these sets, so they all go with each other. They're all the same sizing, so you can take any centerpiece and pop it in any frame however you like to achieve the look you want with your card. So moving on to the next one, we've got the polka dot square tile, and again, I don't know if my camera will pick it up, but that's got a scalloped deboss in the frame. This was one of Jamie's favourites, I think. And then here we've got the floral square tile. This was one of my favourites, and that's got a kind of dashed deboss. Again, I don't know if you can see that around the edging of the frame there. You've then got the swirly square tile, and that's got circles debossed around the edge. I'm really hoping my camera is going to capture this for you. I'm sorry if it isn't. And then finally, you've got the fretwork square tile, and that's got your circles that are actually cut out, so you can add a different colour behind that for a different effect as well, same as what you can with the diamonds. Another thing that you can try, and I've got a video coming up soon showing this, demonstrating this, is you can cut two different centre panels out, and when you place them over each other, shift them, and it creates a 3D effect. And like I say, I've got a video coming out soon showing you how to do that, but it just stretches the products even further, and it's a really fun technique. So that is our patchwork collection. So if you've stuck with me this far, thank you so much for staying tuned and watching. A little disclosure, this was actually my very first time making a video, doing a voiceover without any kind of script or support with that. So yeah, a little bit nervous doing it, and I really appreciate it if you have managed to stick with me. I hope this video was helpful. As I said at the beginning, we've got the live shopping.vip shows, and that is at 11 AM tomorrow, Thursday the 22nd of May. The online event is on the Jamie Rodgers Crafts Facebook page, so check that out if you're interested in that show. And then we've got the general sale, general release with all of our lovely stockists from 10 AM on Tuesday the 26th of May. And again, just a reminder that the Monday night natter is still available on the Jamie Rodgers Crafts Facebook page if you'd like to catch up there and see all of the different makes from the design team to get more inspiration for how to use this beautiful new release. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.